welcome to our press conference for Game 5. This is Furman. We have head coach Bob Richey, along with players Cole Bowser, Tom House, and Cooper Bowser. We will start with an opening statement from Coach. Then we do have a microphone, so I ask that you raise your hand. We'll bring the microphone to you and identify yourself by your name and your media outlet before you ask your question. Coach?
Well, first of all, tremendous game, high-level basketball game, which we fully anticipated. And you could argue, they're one of the hottest teams in the league. They won 8 and 9 coming in, and really the one that they lost, it was a nail-biter in Macon. And player of the year in Booth and Faulkner, first team, I guess. I can't remember if he was first, but one of the best post players in the league. And we knew we were going to have our hands full. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if I've seen many shooting performances like Booth put on tonight. And I thought it was just an unbelievable, it was a shootout first half for sure. And it was just back and forth. And it was two really good teams going back and forth. And, guys making some big time plays, which when you get to March, that's usually what it's about. And we knew we were going to have to do a little bit better job on Booth in the second half and take away some of his looks and not allow him to just continue to shoot like he was. And fortunately, until the end there, he made some unbelievable plays to extend the game. But I thought we did a much better job defending him from halftime to about, the last 4 minutes of the game when he got loose when they were, trying to come back there. But, look, our team showed tremendous fight tonight. We had 3 freshmen out there at some points, and we had 2 freshmen guarding the player of the year in the league, and they just battled, and every single one of them. We knew we had to start a little bit different, and none of our guys complained about it. We started the second half a little bit different, but we just knew it was going to take everybody. We knew it was going to take a team effort, and from all 3 of these guys sitting up here, had tremendous games. Tom House was phenomenal tonight, just made play after play, and then hit clutch free throw after clutch free throw. I thought Coop was tremendous and just did a bunch of good stuff. 6 for 12 from the field, 14 points. And, Cole right here, for 2 months he thought he was redshirted. Now you're on the podium, after a quarterfinal. Because he goes, he gets 7 rebounds and has 10 points and 4 for 4 from the free throw line and hit some huge free throws there late. But you go all the way down, Baba Franklin, the defense that he played, the toughness that he played with, and to hit that 3, and then he had a beautiful back cut there from the top of the key. You can just go all the way down the line. Alex's great start. I thought Chuck Johnson played with some toughness. Ed Bronson was huge tonight, did a bunch of good things for us. Ben, of course, was a warrior, and Asa continued to play, his guts out as well. So really proud of our group. They shot 60% from the floor at halftime, and somehow it was a tie game. And then we held them to 40% in the second half. So glad we tightened up the defense a little bit and earned the victory.
Justin Mathis with Daily Joseph Hoop. This is for Cole. How would you describe this moment, being an underclassman, getting to play on this stage, and also getting to do it alongside your brother?
It's just amazing, blessing. So I thank Coach Richey, putting me out there, believing in me. And I just went out there and did the best I could, believe in God, believe in my teammates. My teammates believed in me. And it was just got out there, got the dub, got it done. It was amazing.
Scott Keeler from Sports Report. Coach, it started the second half, Asa and Ben came off the bench, and obviously Baba did too. And even though they didn't start the second half, after a little bit of a rough first half, I thought the contribution they made when they came in there was huge. It got you kind of going in the second half, so to speak, and kind of rode the momentum the rest of the way, I thought. Can you speak to how they did off the bench?
I thought our quote-unquote bench was tremendous. I thought tonight, starters, it's almost like seeding in this tournament. It's pretty irrelevant who you start. It's about what are your matchups, what mix is working, what do you need to do to stop the other team. And there were some things tonight that we did strategically in terms of our rotation was much more about our strategy than it was, hey, these are quote-unquote best 5 players. Everybody that played tonight can start on this roster. And to be honest with you, everybody that played tonight except Baba has started a game on this roster, multiple games on this roster. And so, that's the humility of our group, that a guy like Cooper Bowser would say, hey, we feel like we got to play single big a lot of the night tonight, and because of how they play and how many free throws they get and how hard they're driving the ball. And, one of you guys, Ben, Chuck, Cooper's got to come off the bench to start. The other 2 are seniors. And for him to have the character and the confidence in his teammates and the humility to say, hey, those guys are seniors, let them start, and I'll come off the bench. I think in a high-level game versus maybe the hottest team in the league, to be able to get a win, it takes that type of connection, it takes that type of culture to really be able to doubt yourself in those moments. And I thought a lot of our guys, we had to figure out how to guard Booth. I mean, it was hard. I mean, Ed was trying really hard, but at the end of the day, when we got to halftime, we thought Franklin and Cole were doing a little better job on him. And so we had to figure out, okay, we need a Booth defender. We can't be too big at times. We've got to make sure, and then we've got to be able to sub and be able to do that, the right way. And just for our team to accept that, that's what they've done all year. And look, I told this team today, the adversity of what they faced through the year is going to help them in Asheville. And they've been through a lot that some of you guys know about. They've been through some things that some people don't know about. And we got off to a 1-3 start, and they won 12-14, and they grew, and then they had to deal with some injuries, and then we had to kind of put it back together. We got guys out there that are competing their absolute tails off that can't really practice, just to be honest with you, at times, right? I mean, they've had to really gut this thing out. And I told them today, I told them this afternoon, I said, that adversity is going to pull you together in a tournament setting. And I thought there was just multiple moments tonight where they made a run or they tightened it up, even they're late. I mean, I think Booth hit that shot in front of their bench on 3 guys. I mean, it felt like we did everything but foul him, and he still made it. And then we kept coming back to huddles, and the communication, the connection, the way these guys handled those moments was really impressive tonight. So, look, for us, it's not going to be about who starts. It's going to be, it's going to be everybody, and it's going to be all of us, and we're going to have to depend on that, and we're going to have to play team basketball to continue to have success in this tournament.
John Hooper, Mid-Major Madness. Tom, there that I think with about 2 minutes left, you draw the foul for just got him up in the air. That's a real veteran play right there. Can you just talk about really the shot selection all night? And it seemed like even when shots, weren't falling, you guys did enough offensively to get yourselves good shots. Just talk about that.
Yeah, we just talk about staying on the rails, so that means just staying in our offense, keep running good offense even when they go on runs. That's the biggest thing that helps stop runs. Like, if you just come down in transition and start jacking shots, that can spark even more of a run. So we had a couple stretches of that, but I think our team did a great job. Everybody talking to each other, staying composed, and just staying in offense.
Steve, Greenville Sports Media. Cooper, this isn't your first time here in Asheville. Do you think this year has been a more physical tournament than maybe in years past?
I would say that a lot of the post players this year in the SoCon are very physical. I would say in years past there were a lot more pick and pop guys. Think of the guy from Samford, Jaden Brownell last year, and but a lot of guys this year are back to the basket. Think of Mighty, think of Neely. So I would say that this year in the SoCon is a lot more physical out there.
Well, in transiting times, Cooper, talk about your mindset, as Coach was alluding to, of coming off the bench or surrendering some of your minutes and that sort of thing. Again, how do you get to that kind of place?
One thing I remember was my sophomore year. I remember there was a conversation Coach had with a senior named Tyrese Huey, and they asked him to come off the bench so I could start getting my feet wet. And thinking back to that, about he sacrificed for me at the time, and just for me to pay it forward and sacrifice for these guys. I mean, there was no question in my mind I was going to come off the bench for this team.
Just so we're clear on that, hopefully I've addressed that. It was nothing of a reduction of role. It was nothing of a reduction of value. He played 24 minutes tonight and could have played a few more. It was strictly, you look at what they've done in their run. They're getting fouled a ton. Booth just went for 40. They hit 33s in their last 2 games. They space you and they drive you. And for us, we just felt like we needed to start with 1 big out there as opposed to 2, and then be able to rotate those guys. And we knew that Coop and Chuck were still going to play together some during that rotation. It just wasn't going to be as much, and we thought that would be advantageous. And I thought Coop had an unbelievable impact on the game, and can't thank him enough for that.
One of the DHJ Sports, I realize that I don't see in team practice. And I realize that I don't know enough. I know Justin's pretty dangerous. But the team, from the moment the game started, those look like two self-assured teams that expected every shot to go in, and for the most part they did. But I mean, for the week of practice, for the time off, is this just everything worked tonight, or is it like, did you use the time well? The team looked great. Even if you'd lost, I'd have said that.
We needed time. I mean, one thing that's interesting in this league, which will change next year with 11, I mean, you don't get a bye week. And so you just go Wednesday to Saturday and you go 9 weeks straight. And for us, we've had some guys, like we've alluded to, that we feel like if we're smart with them around practice, that we can get them to games. And because of that, we haven't been able, I mean, we got multiple guys that they play in games and then they don't practice. And then they play in a game and then they don't practice. And that's what we have to do at this time of year to get them to the game. And so we knew that like a week off, I mean, we just haven't had much time. And, you know, to be able to take off Sunday, to be able to take off Monday, and to be smart with those days. But I'll tell you this, I do think we had 2 of our best practices of the year this week. And I thought that was a credit to our team in terms of understanding that we had to be a little bit creative with it and we had to be smart with it, but we had to be able to set the edge and we had to be able to set the tone. And, you know, tonight, you look at it, I mean, we won the paint by 12, we won the second chance by 9. We won the free throw line. That's a little bit of a side because they were beating us up on the free throw line, especially in the first half. They were plus 10. They had to foul us a lot there late, so that's a little bit off there. But we knew we were gonna have to come out here and play with some toughness. And look, it's hard to survive a performance when a player goes for 34 on you and he hits 8 threes. I mean, come on. You know, I mean, you tip your hat to that. I mean, that was a special performance. I mean, that was an unbelievable performance, and we were going to have to win some of these other categories of the game, and then we were going to have to be able to tighten the bolts to at some point, you know, I mean, heck, we tried to get the ball out of his hands, and he still goes for 34. It just tells you, you know, what type of player he is.
One more question from Scott.
Cooper, with what Jaden did in the first half, you know he's going to be a focus in the second half. How did you guys down low make sure that didn't set Dylan Faulkner to go off? Also a very good player, but y'all kind of held him in check as well as holding Booth in check as best you could and say that.
Faulkner, he's an amazing player. First team on conference for a reason. He plays so physical and he's just a force down low. Just making sure that his buckets weren't as easy, just trying to make him finish through us. Of course he made some because he's just that great of a player, but really just making sure that we just made it hard for him to take away his easy layups and seals and just make it so he finishes through us.
Thank you.